Hi, I'm Ryan Trengrove, owner and director of instruction here at Golf Swing Prescription. Congratulations on your investment with your golf game. Pretty soon you'll be getting better golf, better contact, straighter shots, lower scores, and before you know it, you'll be swinging safer for your body. I wanted to go over a few things that, as a new student, you should know. The first thing is the order of the lessons. So basically what will happen is every time you come in, you'll first, if both bays are full, then just make yourself at home in the waiting room. If one of the bays is open, you're welcome to come in and warm up to get ready for your session. Then the instructor will have you warm up for about 5 minutes or so before you begin. Then he'll come in, he'll film, use about 5 swings, see if there's anything better since last time. So he'll bring up your benchmark and show you the things that you've improved at or the things that you still need to work on. Then after that, we'll begin to work with you, giving you visual, verbal, and kinesthetic feedback to help you improve at your weakest length. We work on the golf swing in a certain order, okay? There's an order that you need to follow to succeed and improve and sustain long-term improvement. It's sort of like dominoes. Basically, once you're in the right setup, then once your lower body's working correctly, then after that, you got a better backswing, better swing plane, then how you make your downswing. There's a certain order. If you go out of order, you're not going to get as much of an improvement. I always like to tell everyone it's kind of like the foundation of the home first, curtains last, okay? So you got to make sure that when we work on the swing, we'll be going in a sequential order. Another thing you should know is every student has a different challenge point. See, a complete beginner that hasn't golfed before and has no background in this, the amount of things that they can handle per session is fewer things than an expert level player. So what we do is we introduce the first thing we got to work on. If that's going well, then of course we're like, okay, well, let's add the next thing. And if that's going well, then we add the next thing. If we get stuck on that third thing, well then that's what we're going to be focused on in that session, and that's it. If we don't push you far enough, you're not going to get the most you can from the session. And then if you get pushed too far and you're not succeeding at all, then it's not productive. So we're very cautious of that as we work with you because we're not trying to over-inundate our students, but we want to make sure that the learning process is nice and smooth. Another thing that you should know about the lessons is the feel versus real thing. Okay, so everyone has kinesthetic awareness of their body. What you think you're doing versus what you're actually doing, there actually is a discrepancy. For example, I've had students that they swing back, their head's moving a foot off to the side. I showed them, they're like, wow, I can't believe that. Then they tried again, they were doing the same thing. Then they said, okay, I'm ready to listen. I said, okay, you know what, let's try this. On the next one, try and feel like your head moves a foot that way. And they're like, well, wait, that's not what you're supposed to do. I'm like, yeah, I know. Just give it a try. Then when they tried to do that, their head stayed completely still. So what you have to feel versus actually what you're really doing, there tends to be a discrepancy. So you should be aware of that as we work with you, there's times when we may say things where you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. I thought you're supposed to do this. But then when you see it on the camera, you'll be like, oh, I see. That's what I'm supposed to feel. Okay? Those feelings will last typically for 2 to 4 weeks that are kind of exaggerated. And then once you're, if you will, deprogrammed from the other feel, then you can start thinking about, okay, just keep my head still, and it actually will stay still. Another thing that you should know about is the practice. How much practice do you need to spend to get better? So years ago it was take a golf lesson, don't come back until you get it, right? Today, it's kind of like a personal trainer for fitness. If you want to get better at your fitness, you see your personal trainer weekly and regularly to make sure that you're losing the weight or doing whatever your fitness goals are. He doesn't say, okay, don't come back until you lose 10 pounds. So what we do is each week when we work with our students, we're trying to make sure that they stay on track until they get up the hill, if you will, over the summit. In that whole process of working with them, basically in between, if you can spend 30 minutes to an hour in front of a mirror or at the drive range working on the actual feels and things, the drills that we give you each week, that's great. If you're working on things at the range without any sort of feedback, you're not filming yourself, you're just hitting balls, you may think you're doing something different and you actually may be doing the same thing. So the best way to practice this stuff that we give you is in front of a mirror or filming yourself, which you can get a $15 tripod online to be able to film yourself, and then that would allow you to be able to see if you're actually working on the things that you should. Okay? Now, if somebody hasn't practiced, sometimes they're wondering, okay, well, should I go into my next lesson or not? If you haven't practiced, sometimes it's not bad because you haven't been able to undo the things you did before. Okay? Early on, if you don't practice in between, it's not the worst thing. Ultimately, if somebody has a lesson, practice once in place, that's what a lot of players do. But if you don't have time, I've had plenty of people that are very busy that don't have time. If you see me, then you see me next week, each time you come in, I'm going to clean up whatever we left off with and then start adding the new information. Okay? So you're not going to really lose that much by not practicing in between. Like I said, though, if you can get in front of a mirror camera, that's productive, that would be very good. Another thing you should know about this whole process is, will I get better, right? That's the question I get a lot. Will people get better, right? Well, if you look, with the fundamentals, you have to get better. What we teach here is basically, if you get into a better posture, right, so an athletic posture is an equal amount of knee flex and bend, so you're more centered, okay? Just going out and golfing and staying more centered is going to help you, right? Then one of the major fundamentals that we work on after we're in a good setup is we talk about the lower body being stable. Well, if you think about it, if the lower body is keeping the rear, keeping the flex at the top, and same thing back to contact, and the old thing, swinging a barrel, you swing back, you pivot, and you don't sway, and then coming down, maybe a little weight to the left, not a lot, to strike the ball first, and then you rotate around here, then you're going to make solid contact. On that, if you watch me real quick, the whole thing is, okay, look, I can sway around, and I can hit a ball with my eyes open, right? But if I get set up, and I close my eyes and try the same thing, not so lucky, right? So if your lower body's moving around a lot, you're having to use your hand-eye coordination to make contact. You can make contact, but you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. If your lower body works more the way it should in the golf swing, you should be able to get set up, close your eyes, and swing, and hit the ball perfectly solid with your eyes closed. So the whole thing about, you got to keep your eye on the ball, a bunch of baloney. You got to keep your lower body stable, okay? So with one of the fundamentals we work on, if your lower body is unstable, and then our training makes it more stable, you're going to hit it more solid, as you can see. Another thing that we focus on is this whole swing plane and connection thing, okay? So I bring up a pro here on the screen. You're going to see this is Tiger Woods. And basically what we're looking for is that your arms stay basically in this triangular shape as you turn your torso, going back, and then they stay in that triangle as you come back through, as you can see here, and they stay in that triangle going through. From the side view, that leads to the club traveling more on plane or swinging straighter along your feet. Well, if you're swinging straight and your arms move with your body turn, there's not that much that can go wrong. For example, if you watch me again here, so if I get set up, right, and I'm using my body to move my triangle, there's less that can go wrong. See, over 30,000 lessons taught, and basically what's happened is people come to us looking like they're Elvis Presley, too much lower body movement, right? Then people come to us with all this, monkey arm stuff, right? And what we help people do is we help people get their lower body more stable, and we help them get their arms to stay more in the triangle the whole time, and then there's fewer variances that can happen, right? The other thing with that is the club face usage. The club face, we shouldn't be trying to time it like a baseball bat. We actually want the club face to work very square as we rotate around, and then as the face of the club stops flipping around, guess what? Again, the shots get straighter. So the answer is, the fundamentals we teach will absolutely help you get better by getting your lower body more stable, contact improves, and by having your triangle, if you will, connected better to your body turn with good club face, the shots are going to go a lot straighter as well. After we get those things better, then what we like to do is we actually will help you with your short game, go to the golf course with you, make sure that you apply it, because there's some people I work with where they go back, they sway off the golf ball, we fix it in here, then we go out and it's like, they'll miss a shot and they'll say, see, that's my miss. I say, oh yeah, you swayed a foot. And they're like, I swayed a foot? How did I sway a foot? I'm like, I know, I haven't seen you sway in a month. Then, because I'm there, holding the person accountable, then what happens is, okay, let me see you not sway. Then they remember their training, they remember how not to sway, they hit it better, and then they're like, oh, when I miss it like this, I correct it like that, and I get a better result. That's the trick. I get it. Okay, now that person is understanding why things happen and how to help themselves. So the more they play, they become like a knife that sharpens itself, where they sustain their improvement. Like the old thing is, you give someone a fish to eat per day, learn to fish eat for a lifetime. Okay? So those are some of the thoughts I wanted you to have today about getting better. If we take a look at the next thing here, if you want to know about when do you have it, right? So when do you have it? Well, you have it when you actually walk in doing it. There's a lot of students that think they have it down because at the end of a session we got them doing the right motion. Then they go off to play and they kind of do it. And then they're like, okay, well, I think I got it. I won't see it for 3 or 4 weeks. And they come back and they're back to their old tricks, if you will. So to make sure you have it, you want to make sure that you've gotten your fundamentals better, you walk in doing that, then you go to the course with your teacher to make sure that you're doing it outside. Then you come in, you're still doing it, perfect. Now is a good time to take a break from the training to reach your goals, and then you'll have your new and improved, new shiny swing, and enjoy better golf. Just thought I'd share some of those tips about what you're about to experience. We look forward to helping you with your golf dreams. And if you have any questions, always feel free to contact us. at 949-554-9926. Enjoy your training.